President Rodrigo Duterte has
Vice President Leni Robredo said that
presidential fourth runner and former Senator Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr.
the Commission on Elections, or COMELEC,
Employment in the Philippines declined by 6.4%.
Early registration for academic year 2022-2023.
2 suspects identified as members of the Basag Salamin crime group were arrested.
The Commission on Elections, the COMELEC, is set to send vote counting machines.
Singer actor Ronnie Liang has achieved another milestone in his life.
Bringing you the top stories for tonight, I am Alvin Pelobello.
and I'm Trisha Gatitos. Welcome to Eurotv News Tonight. Your news, our business.
Good evening, bringing you the top stories for tonight. My name is Alvin Pelobello. Welcome to Eurotv News Tonight. Your news, our business. For the headlines, the Philippine National Police will implement a gun ban in Metro Manila ahead of Bongbong Marcos' praise of first State of the Nation address. NTF-ELCAC to continue the programs of previous administration and recommends amnesty to terrorist groups. Prices of school supplies slightly went up according to DTI. Fuel prices may go down next week, marking its third straight week. And Manila City amongst the 53 best cities in the world, according to the report. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. has finished his isolation period after getting infected with COVID-19, according to Malacanang Palace. Press Secretary Trixie Cruz Angeles said the president is in a good condition, according to the findings of his physician. Cruz Angeles added that President Marcos has been completed his isolation period, but she did not disclose any face-to-face engagement of President today. Malacanang Palace earlier said Marcos is expected to resume in-person engagement today. The Philippine National Police will implement a gun ban prior to the first State of the Nation address of President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. The PNP said gun ban in Metro Manila will take effect starting July 22 until July 27. This is part of the PNP's security preparation for the upcoming SONA of the President. Earlier, the Quezon City Police District said they will be going to place the city under full alert status. President Marcos' first State of the Nation is set on July 25 at the Batasang Pambansa in Quezon City. The National Task Force to End Local Communist Armed Conflict has assured to continue the program against terrorist groups instituted by former President Rodrigo Duterte. The NTF-ELCAC Executive Committee have held a first-ever meeting in Camp Aguinaldo in Quezon City. The agency has remained committed to end the insurgency in the country. The NTF-ELCAC strongly recommends the need for offering an amnesty to prevent resurgence of the communist terrorist groups. Upon resuming the full implementation of the face-to-face classes, parents will be facing another expenses issues as school supply prices are expected to increase. In a press briefing, Trade Undersecretary Ruth Castello said there is a slight increase in prices of school supplies due to the high demand and logistics brought by the increase in fuel prices. The DTI are expected to release a new suggested retail price in school supplies to avoid the overpricing. DTI plans is imposing SRPs in school supplies and uniforms is underway to alleviate the burden of the Filipinos and the prices of the basic commodities. The Department of Trade and Industry has yet to release a date when the Pinoy Pandesal and Pinoy Tasty prices will increase. DTI Undersecretary Ruth Castello said these are the products that listed in their bulletin who have requested for the price increase. Castello added the agency is now reviewing the request of the manufacturers before posting the approved adjustment and suggested retail price. Different groups have recently requested a 4 pesos price increase in SRPs of Pinoy Pandesal.
Meron kaming request ng makers ng bread ng tinapay. Ito lang naman yung Pinoy Tasty and Pinoy Pandesal. This is the only brand of bread na nandun sa bulletin natin. May request sila na 4 peso increase. Pero hindi pa tayo tapos mag-review. So, we're still looking into it. Kasi, Audrey, hindi kami pwedeng increase ng presyo ng isang produkto lang na nasa suggested retail price kasi nasa bulletin. Kasi we publish it. Hindi po kami pwedeng mag-publish ng isang produkto. So, isang buong bulletin, lahat po ng mga nagre-request sa atin or yung mga may pending pa na requests for increases or those previously approved pero hindi natin sinasama, hintayin natin yun matapos lahat bago tayo makapag-publish ng panibago. Meron kasi tayong mga pending requests pa from January, yung nag-publish tayo ng bagong bulletin January and then May. Hindi po natin sila talaga pinagsasabay-sabay, lalo na kung malaki yung approved increase o yung request nila dahil masyadong mabigat for the consumer. So hinahati-hati natin yung increases na to into tranches. Siguro next couple of weeks, we'll be able to submit our recommendation to Secretary Pascual. And then pagka na-approve na ng DTI Secretary, tsaka lang po tayo makakapag-publish.
President Rodrigo Duterte has received a very good satisfaction rating before he ended his term. According to the survey conducted by the Pulse Asia, 65% of the Filipinos have remarked the president's performance as very good. The results were based from April 19 to 27 SWS survey. 78 of the respondents were pleased with Duterte's performance as the country's chief executive. 9% were undecided and 13% were dissatisfied. More stories up next as Eurotv News Tonight returns.
Magsama-sama, magpapakuna, magsayawan, pag-fully vax na. Tayo'y magpapakuna. Let's spread the good vibes sa bayan. Tayo'y magsama-sama. Let's get back for good vibes, kababayan.
Let's bakuna na para sa pamilya at komunidad. Magpa-booster para sa todong proteksyon.
Task Force on Emerging Infectious Diseases will continue to work under the administration of President Marcos Jr. Press Secretary Trixie Cruz Angeles said the transition of the new administration did not affect the operation of the IATF. The IATF is expected to announce the new alert level status in the country for the remaining half of the month. In a separate story, an infectious disease expert of the country said that dengue decreases the risk of having a severe dengue if the vaccine is used properly. Dr. Edsel Salvania, an infectious disease expert, made this remark amid the suggestion of the health experts to review again the use of dengue vaccines as dengue cases are continuously rising. Salvania said, based on the perspective of the science, dengue once used properly has decreased the risk of severe dengue. The Food and Drug Administration on 2017 has ordered the revocation of the Sanofi's certificate of product registration, the manufacturer of dengue. The Philippine Health Department recently said that they are open to study again the possible evidence of dengue against dengue. Another round of big-time price rollback in fuel prices will be implemented again next week, marking its third straight week of price reduction. In an early advisory, oil companies will impose a prices of diesel may go down by 1 pesos and 70 centavos to 1 peso and 90 centavos per liter of diesel. Gasoline prices may reduce to 4.7 to 4.90 per liter. Oil firms usually made the announcement on price adjustment every Monday. The Department of Energy said rollback in fuel prices is expected due to intermittent lockdowns in China and interest rate increase in US and other countries. The Metro Rail Transit or MRT3 has conducted a mandatory random drug testing to their employees. In a statement, MRT3 said the mandatory random drug testing will resume only today in the depot of the agency as part of the minimum public health standards. A resolution number 1000653 of the Civil Service Commission states all employees and members of the government should undergo a mandatory random drug testing to ensure a drug-free agencies as part of their public service. The said random testing has been done once in 2 years. The Monetary Board has raised the interest rates on the central bank's overnight reverse purchase facility into 75 basis points according to the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas. BSP Governor Felipe Medalla said a 3.25% interest rate in the said purchase facility has take effect on July 14, 2022. BSP likewise raised the interest rates of overnight deposit to 2.75% and 3.75% on lending facilities. The Monetary Board has raised the interest rates 2 times already by 36 basis points on May and 25 on June. More stories up next as Eurotv News Tonight returns.
Magsama-sama, magpabakuna, magsayawan, pag-fully vax na. Tayo'y magpabakuna. Let's spread the good vibes sa bayan. Tayo'y magsama-sama. Let's get vaxxed for good vibes, kababayan.
Let's bakuna na para sa pamilya at komunidad. Magpa-booster para sa todong proteksyon.
Fair weather is expected over the entire peninsula, says the Philippine Weather Bureau PAG-ASA. PAG-ASA said southwest monsoon was slightly weakened, but it continues to affect the localized thunderstorm, bringing isolated rains over northern portion of southern Luzon. Metro Manila and the rest of the country is expected to have a fair weather conditions, except for isolated rains brought by the localized thunderstorms. In our sports news, the Philippines national basketball team, Gilas Pilipinas, made a bounce back after their loss against Lebanon as they defeated India in the Group B of the FIBA Asia Cup 2022. Gilas has dominated their second game in the competition, leading 42 points in their match against India with 101-59. This is the first win of the Gilas in the FIBA Asia Cup 2022 in Indonesia. They will play against New Zealand on Sunday, their final match in the window competition. The nation's capital city, Manila, has been recognized as one of the best cities in the world, according to a published report. Manila City is in the 34th spot amongst 53 countries in the entire world, published by the Time Out Index 2022. The report says, despite of the bad rap of chaos brought by the overpopulation to the epic traffic jam, Manila still marked as the underrated hub for arts and its culture. The published report adds Manila has voted as the third most resilient in this year's survey, as it was admired by many for the welcoming and infectious smile of its people. Respondents have also marked the nation's capital as the least rude city. 60% said the city was resilient, while 78% have mentioned about the nightlife and party scene in the city. And those were the top stories for tonight. You can visit our social media account, facebook.com/official Eurotv News for the latest and hottest update. Once again, my name is Alvin Pelobello and you're still watching Eurotv News Tonight. Your news, our business.